Welcome to Unveiling Mythical Legends. I have two pieces of news, one bad, one good. Which one do you want to hear first? Before the show starts, remember to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our episodes.
I'll take the bad news first. I have a feeling today's going to be a bit intense anyway.
Alright, the bad news is, from the moment you were born, you've actually been deceived.
Deceived? Really? You mean all the money I've worked so hard for, the houses, the cars, are they all fake?
Not that they don't exist, but you've always thought, this is mine. In reality, it's only temporarily borrowed. It's like checking into a 5-star hotel. You can rearrange the room, change the wallpaper to your favorite style, but when you check out, you can't take any of it with you.
Wow, that metaphor hits hard. So all these years of working hard for money, it was for nothing?
Absolutely not. The point isn't ownership, it's experience. In your life, working, loving, raising children, weathering storms, that's the process. It's like going to Disneyland. You know the castle is fake, yet you still scream, laugh, and go crazy, because the feelings you experience in the moment are real.
So we're trapped in a borrowed world, and life is designed like a game. The focus is on experience, not ownership?
Exactly. And that's the good news. If you choose, you can disconnect that power cord of reality anytime and realize the only thing you truly control is this very moment.
But, does that mean I shouldn't try at all? Isn't that giving up on life?
No, quite the opposite. Seeing through it isn't giving up, it's fully engaging. Once you understand that everything is just a prop, you can enjoy the process more, play, love, experience, without obsessing over the outcome. It's like playing a game. You know your character will eventually disappear, yet you still fight monsters, level up and explore, because the process itself is fun.
And what about my kids? My parents? How should I handle these relationships?
Imagine you and your children are both players in a game. You entered the game decades earlier, and your task is to guide them through the beginner's village. But when their wings grow and they want to explore advanced dungeons, you have to let go. They aren't your possessions. You love them because the act of loving is meaningful, not because you own them.
That sounds a bit cold.
Not cold at all, actually, it's freedom. When you let go of attachment to gain and loss and just enjoy the process, you become more tolerant, more gentle. Those little things that used to drive you crazy? Against the ultimate backdrop of death, they're not even dust.
And money? How should we view the daily anxiety over wealth?
Money is just a tool, a supply pack the system gives you. It has no inherent value. The real value lies in what you experience and feel using it. Clinging to money and stressing over it is actually consuming your life. The tighter you hold on, the more the rules of the game control you. Let's talk more about money. Don't pretend to be high-minded. I know what you're thinking. I still have to earn money, right? How else am I going to live?
Yeah, rent, car loans, kids' tutoring fees, living expenses. If I don't have money, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly. I'm not telling you to become a vagabond, nor to quit your job. What I'm saying is this: are you playing the coins, or are the coins playing you?
Haha, that sounds a bit like being trapped by gear in a game.
Exactly. Think about it. In Silicon Valley offices or high-rise buildings in Tokyo, how many people spend the first half of their lives trading their health for money, and the second half trading that money to maintain health? Half a lifetime of struggle, and all they get is anxiety, insomnia, and physical ailments.
Yeah, I've seen that. My colleague works late into the night, exhausted like a dog, yet still worries about next month's mortgage and stock portfolio.
Right. It's like buying an expensive Disney ticket, but instead of riding the roller coaster or carousel, you crouch on the ground, scrambling to collect drop tokens, sweating and sore, only for the announcer at the exit to say, "Game over. Tokens are void. You can only take the memories."
Haha, that metaphor hits hard. I get it now. Chasing money, chasing possessions, it's like hoarding tokens, but once you leave, they're nothing.
Exactly. The anxiety over those numbers drains your life and spirit. Money itself is just a tool, to experience, to feel, to create value, not the goal.
So a lot of our effort is actually chasing illusions.
Exactly. That's why seeing through it doesn't mean giving up, it lets you fully immerse yourself. Just like knowing Disney's castle is fake, you still scream, laugh like crazy, buy sweets, wear that silly hat, because the experience in the moment is real.
I get it now. Money is just a tool, and what really matters is the process and the experience.
Exactly. Next, let's talk about family, love, and those relationships that cause pain. You know, many parents take their love for their children to the extreme. They buy houses in top school districts, save money for weddings, take care of grandchildren, practically burning their whole lives just for their kids.
Yeah, that's exactly how my parents were. When I was a kid, if I didn't meet their expectations, it felt like the whole world was collapsing.
And that's the problem. You think it's love, but it can actually be a kind of captivity. Children are not your extensions or possessions, they are separate players. Your job is to guide them through the tutorial zone, but when they grow wings and want to explore new levels, you have to let go.
Letting go, really hard. Every time I see my child making mistakes, I can't help but intervene.
I understand, that's natural. But you need to shift your perspective a little. Imagine yourself floating in a theater box, watching the you on stage acting wildly, crying, laughing, struggling. You'll see it's funny, even adorable. You can tell that character, hey, don't take it too seriously, it's just a play.
Wow, that metaphor is so vivid. Feels like I suddenly see through so much.
Exactly. And it's not just children. Family, love, friendships work the same way. The people you love are not your possessions. Trying to control them only makes you suffer. When you understand this, you become gentler and freer.
And love itself? Will I become cold if I stop controlling?
Not at all. On the contrary, you love to experience love, not to possess it. When you love with your heart, even if you get hurt, it's a powerful life experience. Heartbreak, betrayal, bankruptcy, losing friends, those are just game levels, challenges the system gives you.
So life's pain exists to let us experience, learn, and grow, not to punish us.
So when you fear aging, illness, loneliness, or losing everything at the core, you're really afraid of that black screen moment, the game ending, the game over.
Yeah, every time I see someone suddenly pass away in the news, I feel like, oh my God, am I next?
Friend, try looking at it differently. When you play a game and your character dies, the screen says, defeat. Do you smash the computer? Maybe a little, but then you usually just hit restart, or switch to another game, right?
Yeah, I restart because the real me is still sitting in front of the computer.
Exactly. Death works the same way. Your physical body may fail, but the real you, the observer, the consciousness, the awareness, is still there. Your body is just the vehicle you're logged into on Earth's server. When the vehicle breaks down, you might just log off, take off the VR headset, stretch, and find yourself in a higher dimensional space where the world around you is bright, clear, and calm.
Wow, thinking like this, I suddenly don't fear death anymore. In fact, it feels liberating.
That's right. Death is actually a reminder, life is limited, so you should use every second to truly experience it. Like if you're on vacation in Hawaii and have to check out tomorrow, will you still get angry over traffic today? Or flip out because a cup falls on the floor? No, you wouldn't. You'd think, alright, time's almost up, don't waste my mood. I'll savor the color of the ocean, enjoy one last bite of dessert, hug the people beside me.
So this is what dying to live means?
Exactly. You can remind yourself anytime, I'm on this journey, the end is coming, so I must play fully, love fully, live fully. You'll realize all those little things that usually drive you crazy are nothing compared to death.
Wow, looking at the world this way, everything feels so much lighter.
Right. Now I want to share an even deeper principle, using the false to cultivate the real. All the houses, cars, money, fame, and status in this world are false. They're props, mission items in the script. But the joy, sorrow, anger, compassion, and wisdom you feel while pursuing, using, or losing these props, that is what's real.
Wow, So what I've been chasing all this time wasn't really life itself, it's the experience I actually have that is life.
Exactly. You work hard, not to see how much money you can take with you when you die, but to feel that sense of, I can handle this. You love someone not to possess them, but to experience the warmth of love, the thrill of your heartbeat racing, even the pain of heartbreak. Those are all intense life experiences.
I see. So hardships, bankruptcy, betrayal, they're like game levels designed by the system to train resilience and strengthen my mind?
Right. All the props and challenges are there to forge that core within you. Once you realize this, your anxiety about life immediately fades. Your boss scolds you? That's just part of the plot. Investment fails? That's a designed level. You get sick? That's the system sending a reminder. You're fully engaged in the game, but you're not controlled by it.
Understanding it like this, my daily little anxieties suddenly seem much less important.
Exactly. Imagine switching from a victim perspective to a player perspective. Everything changes. How you view money, love, family, pain. It all becomes lighter, freer.
And living in the present? I've heard that phrase a million times, but it always felt empty.
Haha, yes. Most people treat live in the moment as just motivational fluff, or even an excuse to escape responsibility. But the true present is this: you understand that the past has been deleted, the future hasn't downloaded yet, and the only thing you truly own is this second, this breath, this sip of tea, this moment of laughter.
I'm slowly feeling it. When I focus on the present, that shadow of constant anxiety really does vanish.
Right. Like when you're drinking tea, fully sensing its warmth, aroma, and taste, without thinking about all the tasks you must finish. Or when you play with your child, fully be a big kid yourself, enjoying their laughter, not worrying about unread emails. When you can do this, every day slows down, you'll find life richer, more three-dimensional, more real. Now let's talk about life's final lesson: how to live like a truly irresponsible tourist.
Irresponsible? That sounds like I should give up everything and just run wild.
Haha, no, not that kind of wild. Not killing, not burning things down, not abandoning your children or your job. Here, being irresponsible means being responsible only for the process, not attached to the results.
Irresponsible? That sounds like I should give up everything and just run wild.
Haha, no, not that kind of wild. Not killing, not burning things down, not abandoning your children or your job. Here, being irresponsible means being responsible only for the process, not attached to the results.
That sounds abstract. Can you make it more concrete?
Sure. When you do what you want, regardless of whether it earns money, regardless of how others judge it, regardless of whether it's considered useful in society, you throw yourself fully into it. That's being responsible for the process. Not worrying about the outcome, that's being irresponsible toward the results. For example, you want to paint a picture, don't worry if it sells, just paint. You want to skydive, don't care about making social media posts, just jump. You want to argue with a friend, or be silly with your partner, throw yourself into it completely, without calculating the payoff. That's the spirit of the irresponsible tourist.
I think I get it. All those little things that normally drive me crazy, from this higher perspective, they actually become completely insignificant.
Exactly. When you learn to see these small frustrations as minor challenges in the game, you become more tolerant, gentle, and even humorous. You can even laugh and forgive your past self who got too caught up in the story. Forgive the self who cried half the night over a handbag. Forgive the self who got upset over someone's words. Forgive the self who lost sleep worrying about work.
Wow, thinking this way, my whole heart feels light, like it's flying.
Yes. This is the feeling of being back online, reclaiming control of your own journey. You realize that houses, cars, money, and fame, they're all just props. What you need to hold on to are the experiences, love, creativity, and feelings of the present moment.
I've decided. From now on, I'll love fully, play fully, feel fully. I won't let those fake props control me, and I won't be dragged around by past regrets or future worries.
That's wonderful. Imagine you're on a trip, and it's your last day before checkout. Will you get upset over a broken cup or a small argument? No. You'll watch the last sunset, hug the people around you, savor the last bite of dessert, because you know the important thing isn't what you take with you, it's the experience of the moment.
I feel like my world has brightened, my heart has opened.
Friends, if you've been listening this far and feel even a spark of awakening, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let more people understand, life's most precious things aren't about owning, but about experiencing, not about accumulating but about feeling, not about worrying, but about simply being.